Hey, everybody.
Hey everybody, welcome to Arcane Duels. I'm Intangible.
And I am Harry Poppins.
So we're going to be commentating on a match that Zilfalon and, how do you say his name?
Theasaris.
Theasaris, pretty awesome name. So we're going to watch these two duke it out, and we're doing this over Octagon. So if you've never seen Octagon or tried Octagon, you should give it a try. There's a lot of people out there complaining that they don't have enough people nearby to play with, so Octagon is great. It allows you to jump online and play against people. You just, got to find them or... ask on the forums.
Yeah, actually, and for sure the three of us are active on Octagon, although I believe Koshade is active the most on Octagon.
He is, yeah.
He is always on there, seriously.
When he's not busy, he usually spends some time there. He's got a lot of training and a lot of good players, too. So if you're looking for some good
real
players,
challenges.
good matches.
So today... we've got a match between Theasaris, who's playing the Joktari Beastmaster, and Zilfalon, who will be running the Druid.
You'll also notice that we're actually looking at this from Zilfalon's screen. So we're going to kind of have a little heads up as to what he can play. He's also commenting as he's playing, but that's for another recording.
That'll actually be present on Zilfalon's YouTube channel. You can find him on YouTube, just,
type in Zilfalon.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
the match is about to begin, and here we go. We have no idea what's in either one of their deck lists, so a lot of our commenting is going to be purely speculative. Let's see what happens. It appears that both players have made a selection for the turn.
They revealed their mages.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
Okay, all right, how about that?
I haven't actually got to play on Octagon nearly as much as I want to, so if I ever make a dumb comment like, I didn't know you could do that, or, wow, that's really cool, forgive me.
So when we say that the three of us are on Octagon all the time, what I mean is I've watched Koshade play a couple of matches, and I've installed it on my computer, so I may have been a little disingenuous there.
So, you'll notice that there's a lot of rolling where they just roll a d12 or something like that. They're going to they're going to command that they roll 0 red dice. That's how the system works. So if they ever want to roll an effect die, you have to roll dice with a minimum of 0 red dice, and it will still tell you the results of the d12. So they just rolled for initiative.
It appears that
the initiative went to the
Theasaris.
Yep.
The initiative goes to Theasaris. They have both made their selections for their 2 cards for the turn. It looks like the Druid is adding a Vine marker. A lot of the stuff that's in Octagon has to be done manually, which is it's
a little tedious, but it allows you a lot of control, which is really nice.
Yeah, you really do get a lot of finer points. There's not really much risk of a computer glitch, a programming error screwing you over like there is with other online card games such as Hearthstone, for instance.
Yeah. Also, the let's see, we have the throws down the Vine token at upkeep, which, I mean, obviously. So he actually peeked that he had Philella and a meditation amulet in his hand, which means he's definitely going long game here.
For sure. Got a lot of mana buildup. This is going to be an interesting game.
I was about to say, expect to see a lot of enchantments. And then I looked at the bottom of the roster there, where half the spellbook is enchantments. So, yes, expect a lot of enchantments.
I wonder if we'll see an enchantment transfusion build.
It's very possible.
The Druid gets a lot of really solid positive enchantments, so using enchantment transfusion to not only transfer negative enhancements from one... Oh, and with Philella, you can crap those out at an increased rate.
Oh, yeah, you can throw down 3 turns.
I think we might be looking... Oh, wait, hang on. We've got here, the Joktari has played a Hand of Bimshala.
Throwing a holy spell in the book there. Hand of Bimshala. Strong opener. That it's pretty safe there, and it means that the Beastmaster is going to go a little more aggressive here. And as it runs 2 spaces forward, taking advantage of the fast trade.
As predicted. I really, really hope we're not going to see like a Joktari Rushmaster, like one of your old builds. That would be...
with an Enchanter's Ring? No, we are not.
No. Wow, 2 very unique builds. It's been a very long time since I've seen an Enchantment Transfuser actually work out.
All right, so throws down Philella. I noticed with the Enchantment Transfusion build, I came up with the idea a little while ago, and then I jumped on Octagon, and it seemed like people were also using it, but it was relatively new. It feels like everybody just kind of came up with the idea all at once. I think it was probably like... I would say, I don't know, I don't remember how long ago. Oh, Enchantment Transfusion's been out for a little bit, that's right. But I think it took a little while for people to, realize how effective it really can be.
But that little while was universal among all players. So in like the same week, it was everybody developed it.
I apologize now for those who came up with this build a year ago or 2 years, whatever. I apologize now, not to step on your toes, but just saying. It seemed like a lot of people kind of all thought of it at once.
For sure. It seems like a solid build, and it's certainly very surprising when all of a sudden 1,000 enchantments get dumped right in your face.
No joke. Another thing to point out, the druid didn't cast a tree turn 1, and so it didn't have the bond yet.
That is interesting. The druid's weaker statistics versus other character classes are honestly its primary disadvantage as far as I'm concerned. That and the vine tokens take a long time to deploy and see any actual use from.
Yeah, but once they get the use, we're talking major battlefield control.
And just from the flipping through the deck, we have seen that he does run a Muktari, which is pretty standard as far as druid goes, and getting the life bond on a tree.
Yeah, so a lot of people who are playing druid are probably looking at this like, you didn't cast the tree turn 1. What's wrong with you? A lot of people are very, very protective of their tree, and a little message there. And I mean, they love their tree, so I'm sure a lot of people are a little like frustrated or upset or just shocked that he didn't play that right off the bat. But getting Flow out turn 1 is probably very important.
It is
to his build. So.
I think I may have been mistaken. Because we're viewing this from Zilfalon's perspective, I don't think Theasaris had initiative turn 1 because the initiative token is not lit up now, and it's turn 2. So I believe turn 1...
we can also tell by the color that you probably can't see it being colorblind, but yes. all of the druid's cards are highlighted in green, and then the Theasaris is highlighted in yellow. So
no, I absolutely cannot see. I thought it was just a basic highlight.
That's on me for not being colorblind.
Yeah, right. I'm sure it's on you. No, actually, you know what? I think it's on the game.
Yeah, totally.
WoW has a colorblind mode. Why can't everything else?
Very few things. Very few things are actually starting. I've seen a few reviews of games or apps lately that have been coming out where one of their major critiques is that there's not a colorblind mode.
It's huge in jewel drop games. Like there's no way I can play those games.
Oh jeez, you're not really missing out on much.
No, that's what I hear. I hear they're basically just money sinks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry if anyone out there is a jewel drop developer, but seriously, you're a mosquito. All right, here we go. Let's see. It looks like he's got a rhino hide going down on Philella. Oh no, he's going to cast a rhino hide out of Philella.
Yes.
Okay.
I think he turned it over, so it looked like
No, he's still got 2 cards in his hand.
He does. Philella had one on herself. So, and it was sideways, so she cast Rhino Hide on herself, which is very important. Philella, although she does have a 6-up continuous dodge, she only has 6 health, which means I've talked about it in spellbook builders before. Throwing a flame blast or something in your deck just to take out a creature like that is very key. But
which
with
means
2 armor,
the Rhino Hide, he's anticipating some type of damage spell, it's likely, coming from Theasaris. These 2 players play each other quite often, from what I understand.
Seems like. I'm throwing down Surveyor. Surveyor, we got Fast, Elusive, and Legendary.
He's very good. I've never found quite the use for him, because typically when I play a Beastmaster, I want to get like a small army out, and Surveyor doesn't quite fit with that. He's not an army leader.
Oh, absolutely. It does work really well with the Jotari Beastmaster, though, because she has a lot of... if the creature does damage, then she can do more damage, and if she does damage, the creature does more damage. It's a win-win scenario.
Exactly, and with Fast and Elusive, there's no way Surveyor's not going to deal damage.
It is interesting. He's cast Surveyor 3 zones away, which would lead me to believe that he's basically telling the druid, come on, take a step forward, I'll totally get you. Which is... Oh, and there goes the Vine Tree.
Vine Tree and a Vine token in the following... so the Vine Tree instead of Muktari. Interesting. I suppose to save mana, I'm actually not quite sure what was the other card in his hand. I didn't catch it. We were conversing.
I already forgot. Probably an enchantment, I would expect.
Yeah, it seems like a reasonable guess.
So with Surveyor 3 turns away, if he wants to get that attack off next round, he's going to have to force push or teleport it one zone toward
wasting a teleport on Surveyor just seems like
it is a little counterintuitive.
He's not a preventing getaway creature. He's definitely a run-in creature.
Oh, okay. So it reveals an Enchanter's Ring. All right,
fair enough.
So he saves the mana producing stuff for second turn. So he has the action economy early on by with the meditation amulet and the Philella.
That's an interesting shift in strategy. Typically, players want to see the highest numerical advantage from mana producing things, but in this case, it looks like they're sacrificing that for the additional spell being cast out of Philella, which honestly, that might be a valid argument.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, it seems to be working out so far.
So, end of turn with a face-down enchantment on Surveyor, which is fine. He has Enchanter's Ring as well, so we're...
2 Enchanter's Ring builds.
Yeah.
This is curious.
Enchantments are very strong in the meta right now, I've noticed.
Certainly.
Especially if you go on Octagon.
Well, there are so many good cards to run aside from Dispels and Seeking Dispels that nobody wants to run, 4 Dispels anymore, so... For sure, throw in 6 enchantments.
And I've seen a lot of Enchanter's Wardstones, which, I wouldn't be surprised to see soon. Enchanter's Wardstones, they make it so impossible to destroy all those enchantments, and they make, what is it called, any massive Dispel card basically pointless.
Absolutely. Now, my question is, do you think that the inclusion of the Enchanter's Rings on both players is a meta decision or an actual function of the deck? Because I believe in the case of the Druid, it's an actual function of the deck because this looks like an enchantment transfuser. But in the case of the Jok'Tari Beastmaster, do you think it's just a meta choice?
That's a really good question. With the Enchanter's Ring, that's a lot of a commitment, or not a lot of commitment, but it's commitment toward a certain build, which means that they put a lot of thought into what it is they're doing. I don't think that the point of the Beastmaster's play is actually to go heavy into enchantments, and rather.
Now, this is purely
I don't think it's an enchantment transfusion. Yeah, it's turn 3 guess. I don't think it's an enchantment transfusion deck. More like a.
Although I have
putting a lot of hope into Surveyor here.
Sure, I do have to say though that if you're going to pick a creature to use enchantment transfusion on, Surveyor is a good choice, having already the fast and elusive traits himself.
Absolutely. Fun thing though, Surveyor being elusive is still affected by the Vine markers.
Really?
Yes.
Now, why is that?
It wording.
Really?
Specifically wording. Vine markers hinder all creatures. Elusive states that the creature is not hindered by other creatures.
Ah, and you know what? That kind of makes sense. Vines do not care for how elusive you are as a creature.
Nope. So we see an Enchanter's Wardstone and I already missed it. Bull's Endurance
as you predicted, the Wardstone.
Yep.
So what do you think we'll see out of the Jok'Tari Beastmaster this turn? What do you think his aim is so far? Is he really going to buff Surveyor to the gills and run in with a big stompy creature?
It's very possible. I mean, if he does, he's going to go straight for the Druid, seeing as how, number 1, it's going to be a lot harder to hit Philella.
Yeah.
Number 2, with Surveyor, practically impossible unless he makes it flying. But also, it just seems smarter to go for the Druid this early if you're going to put that much aggression. Plus, he already cast an enchantment on Philella, meaning it's harder to kill as is.
Exactly. He's got no idea what that enchantment is. It could be anything. The Vine Tree is not particularly hard to kill. I believe it's got, 2 armor and 9 health or something to
like
that effect.
It's pretty, I don't know, spongy as things go.
As far as trees go.
So we have another face-down enchantment on Surveyor here. I don't know. I could see a Eagle Wings, maybe, because now that he's being hindered by Vine markers, you can't take full advantage of his.
Do you think he's going for Philella then? We've got something here.
Oh, we got Temple of the Dawnbreaker.
Oh, that's good.
Yep, that's... Wow.
It's good for an aggressive and a defensive build, so we can't say for sure whether or not this is just a pure aggression thing.
I feel like there's going to be a push from Theasaris here. I feel like he's going to push and he's going to put a lot of pressure on the Druid, and then he's going to take a step back and reconsider how the game's going from there.
He may let Surveyor act independently. He is strong enough with his dodge defense, with his 2 armor, 11 health, and whatever 2 enchantments that Surveyor has on him. It's going to be difficult to deal with that creature, so it's possible he may let it act independently.
Yeah, I could see, unless he puts some more armor on Surveyor, I could see a a surging wave followed by a hurl boulder or something like that being pretty devastating towards Severe. That would be an average amount of mana necessary to kill Severe.
That's a lot of mana.
That is a lot of mana. I think he's banking on Eagle Wings not being cast on Severe here, because if so, Severe can reach Philella because he just moved Philella closer. I think he's planning on putting Philella in that far corner up at the top there for safety, splitting the focus.
Let's see here.
All right.
A lot of considering on behalf of Zilfalon here.
You know, I've noticed that happens a lot with enchantment builds, especially when it's
really got to be careful with your targets.
Yeah, it's when you have two heavy enchantment builds like this, both of you are like looking at each other, going, "What do you have?" Oh, Eagle Wings, called it.
Eagle Wings, bingo. All right, well, I think we may see the fall of Philalla depending on the role of a defense role here.
Let's see. All right, Severe coming in. He targets Philella. Philella reveals, is he revealing Rhinohide? He doesn't actually need to reveal Rhinohide until the damage has been rolled. So many dice? 0. Oh, going for the dodge. And roll 0. Ooh, I can't actually see the result.
It's tough to see. Tell. No, I can't tell either. I think that just says D12.
Sorry,
I honestly don't know.
My taskbar right now is covering up the result.
Is it really?
Rolled, looks like a 1. Yep, 1 on the effect die.
Okay, so no defense, and a reveal, it looks like. 6 critical damage, which would be enough to kill Philalla, so he's got to reveal the enchantment or risk losing the creature.
He rolled 6 critical.
Yeah.
No enchantment's going to save. Oh, he has, unless he has Bull's Endurance on Philalla already.
I think he's got Bull's Endurance. I thought that was the one that I saw instead of Rhinohide. You've been calling it a Rhinohide.
But I think there's both. I think. Yeah.
He has both of them on Philalla?
I believe so.
I thought he was going to cast
Bull's Endurance and Rhinohide, yep.
Ah, look at that.
So no point in revealing Rhinohide. Nope, wrong one.
Yep, there you go. There it is.
I mean, they're right next to each other.
Octagon appears to be quite sensitive.
It is very sensitive. They are working a lot. There's a lot of updates I've noticed with Octagon, so kudos to the people who have put all the effort into Octagon. It's the
art, by the way, is
wonderful.
fantastic.
It's come a long way, and I'm excited to see what happens with it in the future.
Okay, he's making some heavy considerations here, and I'm not sure why. There's no reason to let a creature just die like that.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll take a look at it in the next episode. All right, see you there.
See you there.